Hello there. This is Maxwell Ivey. Maxwell Ivey, Max to my friends, and Mr. Midway to some of you out there. Well, welcome to another Wednesday night meetup. And my website is midwaymarketplace.com. That's midwaymarketplace.com, or if it's easier for you to remember, it's www.mr-midway.com, mr-midway. And the email address is maxwell@midwaymarketplace.com. And phone number is 979-215-1770. And like I said, I want to welcome you again to the Wednesday night meetup. It says 0 viewers, but hopefully y'all are hearing me out there. Anybody there? I know it's Wednesday night. Well, I don't have my phone on, and I've got my email closed, so hopefully we'll get somebody to join us here directly. And okay, so I guess I'll start with the first bit of news for the week, and that is that I started a new blog, and the website or the URL for the blog is blindstudentandteacher.blogspot.com, and I will put a link to it on the YouTube video, and I will be putting a link to it on the Midway Marketplace website so y'all can find it. It's blindstudentandteacher.blogspot.com, and basically this is going to give me 2 blogs now, and it's going to allow me to clarify the mission or the goal of each blog and keep the posts more on topic where they're not spread out over a bunch of different subjects. I know that people have enjoyed the posts I've written about a blind person using YouTube or doing the Hangouts on air or figuring out how to use Pinterest, and they've gotten a lot of traffic, but they're not really suited or on topic for a blog that's main purpose is to help promote the amusement industry and the sale of equipment. So the Midway's blog will be more about new items, sales made, interviews with people in the industry, the Calliope Corner videos about equipment, or when we start visiting the amusement parks and the carnivals. Those are all appear on the Midway's blog. And then the new one, the Blind Student and Teacher blog, will be about blogging, social media, what it's like to be a blind business owner, the challenges that I face, and how I go about overcoming them. Friends that help me along the way, the businesses that uh, decide to make their products and services accessible, changes to either the websites or the blog, and also, some of my personal opinions as far as the path I've been on and how I've gotten to where I'm at now. And the main thing is a lot of people told me that just by showing up and doing what I do every day, that I inspire and motivate them to do more with their lives. So I thought it was about time to start the new blog. And the first post, which is think think I'm ready to be an inspiration, basically explains all that and mentions some of the friends that have helped me so far, some of the people that advised me or encouraged me to do this. And so far it's gotten very good response. I don't know the number of page views or the clicks, but I do know that it's had 19 comments posted. And 19 comments posted, which is very unusual for a first post or a first blog entry. And a lot of that is of course, people that have come to know me through the other blog, that when they saw this post, they, jumped right in to tell me, hey, way to go, and I know you're going to do great with it. And they left their comments. And like I said, we're one away from 20 comments on the first post. Um, some people have mentioned that the photo on there is of a train and that it's a very large photo and that it forces the text to go to the right. Well, I am trying to fix that, and I've resized the image, but for some reason it isn't resizing on the site. So I hope everybody will bear with me. So far, nobody's complained. They've just let me know that it's that way because they figure that I want it to look good and that I would want to fix it once I know that it's not the way it should be. So I am trying to fix it, and I am going to confess to something here. When I wrote that first post, I picked the wrong image. For some reason, I have the image mislabeled in the folder on my laptop. I thought I was posting the picture of me sitting at my kitchen table working on my computer, thinking that would be a good picture for my first post since I used the photo of me in the blue shirt with the logo on it for my profile photo. Well, for some reason, some photos that we were working with got mislabeled, and so I put up a picture of a train. And a couple of people commented about the train, and it finally came to me. Okay, the first post is "Think I'm ready," and there's a picture of a train. So people just figured I was going for the little engine that could reference, so nobody realized that it was a mistake. But like I say, the first post has gotten real good response. And the plan is to post at least once a week, most likely on Thursday or Friday, probably Friday, because I really want to get in the habit of posting a recap of these hangouts on Thursday. And if I do that on Thursday on the Midway blog, then I can concentrate on then if I release a post on here on Friday, they shouldn't cancel each other out as far as traffic or comments goes. Hopefully we're looking at two different audiences, so it won't matter, but just for the work, for my part of it, since I'm the guy who's going to be writing all the posts, I like to leave myself a little bit of time in there if for some reason I'm behind on doing the post and just barely get it ready in time for a Friday. So that's the plan. Once a week on Friday. Of course, I've really enjoyed doing the writing. I've been writing in advance of doing the post. I've got probably 5 or 6 posts worth of material already written. I've enjoyed doing it. So I don't really expect any problems with this blog, but sometimes I have trouble with inspiration and subject matter for the Midway's blog. And quite honestly, sometimes I just don't feel like doing the recap. But it's part of the process, and it helps promote the Hangout. So I'm going to promise to get in the habit of posting those. If not on Thursday, then for sure by Friday or Saturday of the same week. So that the people who are nice enough to come on here and participate and share their stuff will get their links and their mentions like they should get. So look forward to Thursday for the Hangout recap, Friday for the student and blind teacher blog, and hopefully a brand new piece of content for the Midway on Monday or Tuesday of each week. So I'm going to have a lot of work to do, plus there's still all the social media and promoting the posts. And oh, by the way, we're still getting into equipment. So is that you, Mitchell?
That is me.
How was I doing? Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay. I said, how was I doing?
I just made it in. Sorry, Max. I was struggling with server issues.
Oh, okay. Having server issues. Well, I hate to hear that from anybody. I know that my good friend Adrian went through issues like that with her blog and the server that hosted it, and it was like a 3-month running battle, and I thought a couple of times she was just going to give up and quit blogging because of it. It was that much of a headache. So sorry to hear that you're having server issues. I wouldn't wish that on anybody.
No, it's fine, because it means that at least my radio station's live right now. So.
Cool. Well, give everybody the URL and hope and that way I'll remember it too. What's the website for the radio station?
It's on the main website that I always have, just under a tab /radio. So roguegeeks.com/radio for EDM and dubstep playing right now. Also, William Butler joined the call right after I did.
Okay. Hey, William.
Hi, how are you, Max?
I'm sorry, what?
How are you?
I'm doing a bit better today than I was this time last week. Last week on Thursday, I woke up with a very bad toothache, and I finally got to see a dentist Friday morning and had to have 2 wisdom teeth pulled.
Ouch.
Well, you did better than me. All my wisdom teeth were retarded.
Yeah, that doesn't sound good.
Yeah, I had all mine taken out.
Yeah, well, I have a whole new respect for people that are going through teeth pain, dentists, orthodontists, anybody in the profession. I now have a whole lot more respect for them. I'm very happy that my doctor, primary care physician, had urged me to get a regular dentist and start seeing them. Otherwise, I would have had to find somebody and get an appointment. And we all know in today's insurance world, if you are a new patient for anything, the Lord better help you, because ain't nobody else going to.
Mm-hmm.
So,
how's your hangout been working for you, Matt?
well, it's not selling any rides, but I'm enjoying doing it, and I get to hang out with good friends once a week. So even if I just put it down as an entertaining activity, I think it has value. And if I could ever figure out how to get some more people to watch it, I think it might have some benefit for me as far as either the amusement equipment or the new blog, one or the other, or both.
So what kind of equipment do you need to run a hangout?
Well, what I mean is that it would be nice if doing the hangouts would actually result in the sale of some items, either the amusement equipment or products that belong to people that have that sell on the website. So
sure.
Yeah,
but
that would.
What kind of equipment do you need to run the Google Hangout? You have a moderator. What kind of setup do you need to operate a Google Hangout?
Oh, okay. Well, basically, I'm using the camera, and I would use the microphone that comes in my laptop, but when I do that, nobody can hear me. And I don't know why that is, but I know that. Well, the other thing is if I do this without a headset, then I have to turn my screen reader off, which means that I'm totally blind for the duration of the Hangout. So otherwise, I would just use the camera and the built-in microphone that came with my laptop, which is what most people can do. Google has a plug-in or an app that they recommend you download and install, and I haven't used it because I really haven't needed to, but I have a couple of friends, like Chelsea installed it, and she couldn't get it to work on her laptop, but she got it to work on her tablet. And I think Paul Graham tried to install it, but could not get it to install with the internet connection that he's got at his summer home. So I'm not having to use it, but I understand that some people do prefer the app. It gives you more control over the Hangout, but that's what I got Mitchell for. So.
Hi, that's what I'm here for.
Okay, so Mitchell, is it?
Yes.
Yeah, Mitchell Walker.
Yeah. So Mitchell, what do you need to do to moderate the Hangout?
More or less, I'm here because the Hangouts have a tendency to put in buttons that are not labeled, so Max can't see them. To him, they're non-existent on the screen with his screen reader. So I'm here to notify him that somebody else has joined the Hangout or that someone has left, so he doesn't talk to them when they're not here, because he can't see that. It doesn't give him any form of notification. So as moderator, I mean, do you need one? Most people wouldn't. I'm here more or less so that I can say, hey, Max, I need you to move your mouse up 2 inches to the left and click that button. No, not that one, the other one.
Yeah, the other thing is that Mitchell can actually monitor the text or messages posted to Google Plus while we're doing the Hangout, and I can't do that either. I mean, I could do it, but whenever I try to put my attention on my email or on Google Plus, then it makes it hard for me to keep track of what I'm actually saying or thinking about for the Hangout. So it's worked real good for Mitchell to have joined up with me about the time I started doing these.
Mm-hmm. You know, Max, I want to congratulate you and encourage you. I think you've made a wise move there to branch out with your blogging. And I want to encourage you to, regardless of what readership you get, think in future terms of that your content will be curated and that it'll be a story for all people to enjoy. And so for the many facets and aspects that you can share with your story that people can be encouraged by, I want to encourage you to share that. And go ahead and tell your story. You might want to formulate chapters and work on different chapters or segments. You could do it like a running story from start all the way through, best you can remember, and then open it up to questions and that kind of thing. Or you might just want to do it sporadic, like in a hopscotch kind of an order.
Well, I'm going to tell you what I started out. You know, if you've read, I think you read the post. So I started out this thinking that it might be a book. So I was generally writing in chronological order. Of course, I don't remember it all, so I'm having to piece some of it together from old blog posts and Facebook posts, and asking some of the people that I've worked with what they remember. So it's not going to be 100% chronological, but I think that my goal is to tell the story in the order it happened as best as I can remember. And of course, some parts of it are going to overlap a bit because different things were happening at the same time, but it would be just a huge post to tell all of that in one place. So I might, I might concentrate on one aspect of what was happening during that time period, and then follow with another post that's a different aspect of the same time period.
Right, but you know about canonical, right?
The what?
The canonical Google tag called canonical. So in other words, you do part 1 of 3, part 2 of 3, part 3 of 3.
Okay.
And it doesn't count against you for your SEO. Where it says you've used this term before, you have to decide which is of greater value. You don't get a Google penalty when you assign it canonical value. So if you get a chance and you don't understand that, you can Google rel equals canonical, and it'll tell you how to do that, set that up for multi-part blog posts. So you can use the same keyword.
Can you spell that last part for me? I'm having trouble understanding.
Have you ever listened to Pachelbel's Canon in D? The music?
No, I'm not familiar with that.
Okay, well, I'll spell the word for you. C-A-N-O-N. Canon is a volume of works.
Right, okay.
So that's the canon part. Then the ending of the word is I-C-A-L.
Okay.
Canonical.
Canonical. Okay, now I've got it. Right.
Yeah, and it's pronounced canonical. So if you look up rel equals canonical on Google, it'll tell you how to use that HTML coding so that you don't get a Google penalty, and you can tell the search engines that this is part 1 of however many parts you want it to be, part 2 of that, part 3 of that, etc.
Well, I really appreciate that. That's something I hadn't thought of and probably wouldn't have thought of. So that's a big help. And here lately, the last thing you want to do is get slapped with a Google penalty. So especially not in the very beginning. So.
Yeah, you want to learn as much as you can about doing it right. Of course, it all takes time.
Yeah, and Google, like a lot of the entities we have to deal with online, they change their mind as to what they consider fair and foul all the time.
Well, yeah, your algorithm, even if you do a Google search, the algorithm is specific to you. And it'll come out different for me, and it'll come out different for everybody whenever they want to search for different terms.
Yeah, well, I will definitely look into that, because I do think that after this first post, it is probably going to be a series. So I need to figure out how the best way to let Google know that it's going to be a series. Does it affect your rankings any with them? Do they give more credit to a serial than they do to a one of?
I'm not sure about that. It's a mechanism to tell the robots that this is all part and parcel of a big. In other words, it's like a part of a concatenation, and to treat it as such, as opposed to, if you look at your site index map on your website, it's to organize your site index map and keep it organized so that it doesn't confuse the robots, the search engines, and likewise doesn't confuse human beings. People want to know, and the robots and search engines want to know that this is part 1, part 2, part 3, etc. Okay. So it's more to do with your sitemap, keeping your sitemap index clean, and keeping your content clean. And how that works, Max, is when you set up categories on your website, and if you have subcategories, Google doesn't know the difference between a category and a subcategory. Okay, so I'm going to have to call you back.
I appreciate you coming on, and I really appreciate the encouragement.
Okay, thanks. Okay, take care.
Thanks. You too. Well, it's just us again, Mitchell.
So it is.
Yeah. Okay. So get back to telling me about your radio station, and because I've already mentioned the new blog, and I don't really have anything else that's like really big news. So go ahead and tell me about the radio station, what y'all got done this week, and what kind of results you're getting out of it.
Well, I spent the last 4 or 5 days struggling with server issues and IPs not lining up, and what felt like tragedy after tragedy. Last Tuesday, right before, the day before we usually do our video call, my secondary computer that was set up to be what the station ran on, while I still use my computer for all my stuff, the motherboard just died. And I took it in. They're like, the whole computer's toast. I mean, you can't tell how much damage was done to the rest of the computer, so you're just going to have to throw it away. And I went, okay, well, now I'm down a $500 machine. And it really wasn't in the budget to buy another computer, so I've had to do everything on my main PC. Which, I mean, it's not terrible. I'm not supposed to use it while it's broadcasting, so from now on I have to do my Hangouts on my tablet. Which I guess that's not terrible either.
If I remember right, you share with your sister.
Share my what?
I said, if I remember right, you share that tablet with your sister, don't you?
No. It's my tablet. It's mine.
Okay.
Every once in a while she steals it, or I let her borrow it. But you know.
So the radio station is live, and there's a link to it on your website at roguegeeks.com.
There's actually a player embedded on the website. So if you go to the radio, it should auto start playing.
Okay.
Currently, it's 24/7 music because I haven't had any time to work with any voice talent to get any audio drops or ads in yet. So right now, if you're going to listen, it's going to be the best time because it's 24/7 music, non-stop, back-to-back-to-back songs.
Well, see, what you ought to be doing, you ought to be taking advantage of this. You ought to be pumping it out there on social media that as an introduction to the station, there's going to be no commercials for the first 7 days or something.
Yeah, that's part of what I'm doing is I'm like, hey, beta test time, everybody listen real quick and tell me what you think. In the last 24 hours, I've had over 100 website views.
That's very good for the beginning. I'm sure you're going to get a lot more. And the other thing is with that, it's not going to be the views that is going to be critical to you. It's going to be the time on site and the time and page per visitor that's going to be the critical thing. You're going to want, obviously, you're going to want people to come on and stay there for good stretches of time, even if they put it in the background and do other stuff while they're listening. So,
right.
Number of visitors isn't going to be as big a key for you as it is for me, but the other thing is your player, whatever embedded player you're using, you're going to probably have to go there to get the real stats as far as how well you're doing.
Right. Well, I do have. Oh, hey, cool. I have a stat meter showing real-time graphs from my listeners, and about 15 minutes ago I got a second viewer online. It's kind of dead right now.
Well, considering the target age group that you would go after with the music that as I understand the music you're playing, this is not what you would call a prime-time listening segment for your target audience, is it? I mean, is it still a little early for your group?
I think so.
You know, we did a carnival once for a group of Pakistani business people, and we set up on a shopping center, and we didn't make any money. At the end of the week, my dad went and talked to the owner of the center, and he was just totally disappointed. He was ashamed to give the guy the money he had coming. The guy said, Mr. Ivey, we want to know how come you didn't stay open. And we asked him why. He said, well, in the Pakistani community, everybody has to work. So we don't even start a party till 10 o'clock. And we usually don't finish them till 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. So, you know, you have to know the group that you're working to. So I would think with the techno music that we're probably talking about people your age or maybe 5 or 6 years below it or above it, one way or the other. And to me, 9:30 seems a little early for that group, especially during the summertime.
This is true.
But all you got to do is get. Do you have an app? That's the next thing you got to get. You got to get.
That's what I'm actually working on right now.
You're what?
That's what I'm working on right now.
Yeah.
I'm building an app while I'm talking to you tonight.
Cool. Glad to see one of us can multitask. But yeah, that's the next thing you got to get. As I understand it, Android is pretty easy because they have tools that will help you to build one for their site pretty good. But as I understand it, doing an iPhone app is a pain in the butt. Plus, you got to pay that $100 or $150 upfront fee for the right to submit an app. So, it may have gone up. When I was looking at getting an app done for the Midway Marketplace, it was a $100 fee to submit an app to the iPhone or iOS devices. And the last time I checked, the process is still not something you can do as a totally blind person. Their Xcode system that they use to create apps with is not accessible with speech. I am happy to see that Apple is coming out with a newer version of the iPhone. It's going to have a huge screen on it, because that means come October and November, people are going to be dumping their current iPhones, and I'll be able to get me one cheap. You know, I've been kind of fighting going to the iPhone, but if I can get one at a very reduced price, even if it's a generation behind, I think I might go for it. So, I did something kind of interesting this week. One of the people on the blind Facebook pages that I'm subscribed to posted a music video of his, and he asked people to watch it and share it if they liked it. Well, it's a rap video, and I'm not a big fan of rap, but I listened to it, so I shared it with some people, and I sent it to my friends at the Brian the Hammer Jackson show. They do a thing called Music Chamber once a week, and they played it on there today, and I'm still waiting to hear how it did, because they have people online to rate the music, and at the end of each show they will release the updated rankings as to how your song is doing. So I'm kind of curious to see, since I encouraged this guy to submit his music to them, and they wanted him to call in. I don't know if he ended up calling into their show or not, because I had to get ready to go to my doctor's appointment today. So, but it's kind of cool to be able to at least to try to help somebody like that, and hopefully next week I'll know more about what happened. But he calls himself A-Money, and the song was War on War, and he's not blind yet, but he's losing his vision. So, I was pretty impressed with the production value of the. I couldn't see the video, but based on the way he cut all the music together, I thought he did a really good job at the technical aspects of it. I'm no judge of rap music, so I don't know to comment on the song. But I think I got the link somewhere. I'll send it to you later. But,
all right.
But that is going to be like you said, it's going to be cool for people who listen right now, because there'll be no commercials, no voiceovers, just music. Have you tested the volume? I mean,
yes.
You know how loud it starts out at? Because that's.
Yeah, I actually I listened to it at work today. I was like, nope, no playlist for me. I'm tuning into my radio station, and I think my dad tuned in as well.
He wouldn't be a dad if he didn't, so he did.
This is true.
How long he listened is a whole other story. But.
No, he listened until it kicked him off for being inactive. My beta test server could only hold 5 members at a time, so if it thought you were inactive and somebody else was wanting to get on, it would kick you out and put somebody else in.
Okay.
So.
Yeah. Excellent. But yeah, I launched my new blog. It's already got a bunch of views. It's got 19 comments on the first post. And my plan is to continue sharing more of my personal story and the building of the business over there, and then concentrate the Midway's blog on just stuff actually having to do with the amusement industry. I'm still not sure where the recap from the Hangouts is going to fall. Hopefully I'll be able to get back on schedule with those now that I'm over my dental issue. I tell you, when your teeth hurt, you don't feel like doing jack, man. At least I didn't. And I also will admit that after I had gastric surgery, I didn't take any of the pain medicine they sent home with me, but when my teeth were hurting, I took it. So that should tell you how bad it was. But when we get caught up on the recap, the fellow with the train sent me another video, and I have it downloading. I was going to play it, but for some reason, it's downloading at 17K a second. It says it'll be an hour and a half before it's completed downloading. I'm assuming that's because I was fixing to start to hang out, but I usually run at about 300K a second, so that sounds really slow. Could be YouTube's problem. I don't know. Let's see. We got 2 new rides this week in a food trailer. Well, 3 rides in a food trailer. The one ride that's the big deal, it's called a Nitro. It's a 2-trailer Fireball made by Zamperla in 2001. It's a $325,000 ride. And the other one is a Zamperla Power Surge, which I still don't know what a Power Surge does, but it's $450,000. And then I have a Wisdom Orient Express Dragon Wagon roller coaster for $95,000, and a big old funnel cake trailer for $40,000. And so okay, that should be a picture of the Nitro.
That's cool.
Yeah, and that picture isn't even everything, because since this picture was taken, they've installed what are called RGB color change, computer controlled color change LED lights on it. So now the RGB lights are special because they are pre-programmed. They've got like computer chips in them. So the lights are programmed, and that means you don't have to have them wired to a chaser box or an electronic or computer control box to run the lights. So basically, the lights there can be a lot more colors of them. They can flash in different sequences than you could with a running box. And I don't know what colors the lights are now. You're supposed to be sending me some pictures of it with the new lights, but like I say, from what I understand, the new RGBs are just they're amazing when you look at a ride that's using them. And of course, the main selling point for the LEDs for the show owners is that you can basically cover a ride in lights and not have any real demands on your electrical system. As an example, when the Kamikaze first started showing up on midways, you had to bring a second generator just for the Kamikaze. Same for the big gondola Ferris wheels. But since they started switching them to the LED lights, you can actually run those rides off the generator that's running the rest of the Carnival Midway. So LEDs are big savings in power, and they save in money when you consider the life of them over the incandescent bulbs or the turbo bulbs. But I say this is the Nitro, and this is a 2-trailer ride, and it takes about 6 hours to have it ready to operate. And it's currently working at state fairs in the Midwest until the summer's over, and then it'll be back down in Texas. And let me see if I can find the Power Surge. And here we go. This is the Power Surge. This was also made by Zamperla.
That one looks cool.
Yeah, that's $450,000, and I still don't exactly know what a Power Surge does. Can you tell by the picture what it does?
It looks like the whole ride lifts up, turns sideways, and then spins while spinning your carriage around in a circle. So you're being spun in a circle by a device that's going around in a circle.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I wouldn't know. I don't want to ride it, but you know, I have this rule that if I sell it, I'll have to go ride it wherever it ends up at. So.
Yeah. Too bad for you.
I know. Sooner or later, somebody's going to call me on that, and then I'm going to be in trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah. This next one's a ride that I wouldn't mind riding. It's only a little scary.
He is back. Ladies and gentlemen, William Butler.
Okay. You back, William?
Hey, Max?
Yeah, I was sharing some pictures with Mitchell and with anybody that might happen to be watching or watch later.
Okay. I'm sorry I needed to cut out there. I've got a friend that had a heart attack and he's in a coma. And it was his wife calling me from the hospital. So she will be calling me back in just a moment. But I needed to grab that call. So.
Okay, well, I appreciate whatever time you can give. I know just about anybody that comes in here is busy and has other things going on, so I appreciate whatever time I can get. So, and your encouragement has meant a lot to me in the comment and coming on here. So thanks, I appreciate it.
Okay, well, all the best to you. I know that she'll be calling me here just back momentarily, but I just wanted to let you know why I had to cut out there. So.
Well, I hope everything turns out well for him and his family.
Yeah, that's what we're praying for.
Yeah.
Okay, all the best to you, Max.
Well, thank you, and all the best to you too. And I'm sure we will run into each other in the blogosphere, if not on the Hangout. And,
yeah, that's right. Okay, thanks, Max. You take care.
Well, thank you, and you take care now.
And he's gone.
Yeah, and you know what you said earlier was right, because you don't know how many times I sit here, how many times I'm talking to somebody here in the house that after they have already walked off. So, a friend of mine used to have a dog, and I would talk to his dog, and people would go, "Max, why are you talking to the dog?" And I would go, "He's on a chain. He ain't going nowhere."
That makes so much sense.
I know. Penny's different. She has this belief that as long as I'm petting her, there's nothing else more interesting in the world. So as long as I'm scratching one of her favorite spots, she'll sit there and listen to me as long as I want to talk to her. But if I ever stop scratching, then she's going to walk off. The only problem is there are a lot of times when she walks up and wants to be scratched while I'm in the middle of trying to do something else, and I have to remember she's my buddy. But the last one there was what's called an Orient Express Dragon Coaster, and that one I don't think is anywhere near as scary as the first two. I mean, it's got a corkscrew, but it's a sideways loop, not a vertical loop. At least I think that's what it has. The fellow that I'm listing these rides for, he's real good about sending me pictures and videos, but he's not real good about giving me complete descriptions, I think, because a lot of times he forgets I'm blind and doesn't realize that I don't really understand everything unless he explains it to me. So, and I try to ask as many good questions as I can, but sometimes he's in a hurry. So I try to at least get the key technical points. So if anybody's thinking about buying something, I can at least tell them, what they need to know. Like, I didn't know that Nitro has three different drive systems on it, and that they recently replaced all three of them. Me personally, I wouldn't want to own a ride that has three drive systems, but it sounds like it's a heck of a ride, so I guess somebody would. I've known show owners who've had to leave half the lights down off a ride because they couldn't afford the $15 or $25 or $35,000 to replace the box that ran the lights. Or they couldn't get, if they could, they couldn't get it ordered from the place in Germany or Italy where it had to be ordered from. So, me, I generally, I know everybody likes to ride the crazy, scary rides, but me, I like the simple stuff that doesn't break down much. So, are you still in beta on the radio show, or can you have more than can you have?
I'm up to 100 concurrent listeners until my server is fully set up.
That's good, 100.
100 at a time, and if you're not in that first 100, it'll set you up in a waiting queue, so that as soon as somebody leaves, it'll pop you in. So, I mean, that's just for the first month to see kind of how things are going. I'm hoping that I can upgrade from that just within the next week or so, but between an actual 40-hour work week at work and everything else going on, I'd rather be on the safe side of having that full month to do it.
Yeah. Excuse me. But those are the 3 new rides, and then, like I said, I got another video of the train. I need to get it posted to the social media groups. That's one of the things I didn't do because it wasn't really feeling like it. That's one of the things that you're going to find out now that you've got your own thing going. Is there's going to be those days where you're going to have a certain number of jobs that you have to do, whether you want to do them or not. This week, the people at Pinterest decided to update their system for posting to Pinterest, and they managed to fix it or break it, depending on your point of view. On my point of view is they broke it, because now I can't figure out how to post to any board but the one that's got my train on it. I can't choose a different board to post to, so I can't post to my amusement equipment board, or the group boards that I'm a member on that I would like to share some of the stuff. So that's something I'm hoping that they'll fix. I've been sending them emails telling them they need to do something about it, and so we'll see. And I've been trying to figure out how to use Flickr.
Good luck.
That's been fun, because basically I think I figured out how to post my images to an album, but I think I've got 2 different albums worth of pictures in one album. I got tired of fussing with it, so I decided I would come back to it later. But I think that I've got pictures of the dark ride and the train in a folder that's labeled Malcolm Cummings Park Train. That's what I think I did. So. But hey, I'm still surprised that nobody has called me on the fact that there's a picture of a train on my first blog post of the new blog. I finally figured out why. The blog post is called "Think I'm Ready to Be an Inspiration." There's a picture of a train, so I've decided most people think I was going for the little engine that could reference. Well, I mean, it was a mistake, but it worked, so I'm going to leave it. I wish I could figure out how to make it smaller so it wouldn't keep pushing my post over to the right, but like I say, it wasn't intended, but it's working, so I'm going to leave it there. Considering all the times I've made a mistake that broke something or that I had to fix because it looked bad, I figure I'm about due for one where it wasn't what I planned on, but I'll take it. I remember back in the day when my website was still yellow with blue and red links and blue text, and people used to complain about how bright the website was. So I used to tell them, look, at this point I've got over 100 pages that are those colors, and if I change the colors, I have to change every single one of them manually. So I'm sorry, I'm not changing the color. Oh yeah, my the new blog, blindstudentandteacher.blogspot.com, and yeah, I know it's not self-hosted, it's on rented space, but I wasn't sure how long I would be using the blog, if I was going to actually enjoy doing these posts, and what if anything it would lead to down the road. So I figured I'd start with a free blog, and if it takes off, then I'll buy the domain name and move it to a self-hosted account. And the funny thing is it's been up less than a week, and it's already got an Alexa ranking. It's already in the top 5.5 million on Alexa, and it's been up less than a week and has one post. So, and most of that is because of all the comments. Apparently, those and the fact that it's on Blogger. They say that while owning your work is a good thing, that if you're looking to get traffic and get noticed by the search engines, you do get a bump by using WordPress.com or Blogger or TrackPad or one of the other free blogging platforms. So I'm still kind of proud of being in. I mean, when I started my website, I went from unranked in Alexa to 20 million and change for over 6 months before I finally started to move up. My friend Lorraine, she changed from a free blog on WordPress.com to a self-hosted site at wordingwell.com, and her traffic, I think it's been about 6 months now, still isn't back to anywhere close to what it was when she was on WordPress.com. Trying to think if there was something else I was going. Let's see, we did the 3 rides, mentioned the blog and the blog post. William came in and talked to us for a while. I got to look into what he's saying about the serial posts. Got the radio station up and running. You got people listening.
Yes, we do.
Are y'all eventually going to have videos too, or just radio?
Oh, we're gonna have so much. We're gonna have so much.
Yeah. That's the thing about it. No matter how aggravating and entertaining it can be, getting something started, it's like after you do that, it's like, okay, what else can we do? What else can we do? Y'all need anybody to do any human interest type interviews? I'm available. So.
Okay.
Y'all ever need to fill time? You know where I'm at.
You got it.
Yeah, I'm probably the wrong age, but like I said, if y'all ever need to fill time, you know where I'm at. Yeah, that's something I have actually started doing lately. Is actually, before I was happy when people would just ask me if I wanted to do stuff like that. I'd go, sure, go ahead, let's go ahead and do that. Now it seems like whenever somebody says something that where there might be an opportunity, I'm like, yeah, right, go ahead. I've even got a link that I send people now. So actually, that part wasn't my idea. The guys over at the radio show started sending the link out for me, and then when I was asking them about doing what's called a virtual press kit or a digital press kit, they said, well, I found out that you could that there's something called a poor man's press kit, where you basically just create a page on your website with all the links where you've been featured. And I sent that to them. I said, well, what would this do? And I was asking them about the video or digital press kits. They go, well, we've been sending that link around of yours around for a while now. And I'm like, okay, I wish I'd have thought of it. I just put it up on my website because somebody said it was a good way to remind you of how well things are going. If you have a place where you can look and go, okay, I did this and I did this. That way, if you have one of those days where you're not really motivated to do the next thing on your list, you can go look at that and go, hey, I've had a lot of good stuff happen. So like I said, now I got a link. And if people do want to participate in the Hangout, they can either send me an email or they can send a request through Google and ask to be invited and added to the list. You can email us questions in text or in video. I think last week I proved that I can play a video and screen share it. So now we need somebody to send in a video question so we can start making this Hangout thing as interactive and international as possible. It'd be cool if the first video question would come from Australia or China or something. I got a Skype friend from China. Maybe she'll do a question. But we need to get some video questions. I figure as long as people keep them to less than 2 minutes, they should be able to email them to me just fine. Or if they can't, I got a link I can send you where you can upload it to YouTube, and then I can download it off of there. So that's something we need to do. We want more people to join us live or subscribe to the YouTube feed so you can watch it afterwards. My YouTube is youtube.com/user/midway marketplace. And we're up to 38 subscribers now, I believe. I tell you, I'd really love to break 50. I think that would be a reasonable short-term goal. I don't know if we can do it in a week like we did with the Twitter goal. 12 or 13 people to subscribe between now and next week to break 50. That's possible. And for anybody who hasn't heard me say this before, if you follow me on YouTube, I will subscribe to your channel. If you're not on YouTube and if you don't have a channel and you subscribe to me, I'd be more than happy to like a Facebook page or follow you on Twitter or do something else nice for you. So, y'all just let me know. The Indiegogo campaign is still going on. We're still trying to raise the money I need to get out on the road with the YouTube show. A single social media mention is $1. Mention on all 5 of my networks is $5. $35 for a regular shirt, $50 for a screen print. $100 gets you an autographed copy of the DVD when this 12-episode season is over and we release it on DVD. And for those who live out of the country, we're gonna between now and then we're gonna work out some way where people can download the DVD along with whatever artwork or whatever images go with it when it's printed. So we'll figure that out some way, because I know that whenever somebody shares a CD or whatever with me, that usually you get the tracks and you also get the artwork. So we'll figure something out for the people that are never home that still want to participate. That's something I need to work on. But Indiegogo campaign's still out there. And in keeping with the new blog, I do have for $1,000, I will do at least 3 hours of video conferencing with you. We can discuss the amusement industry, or you can use it as a coaching session, or we can just talk about the experiences I've had starting and running this business. And I've heard from my friends that just listening to my story is pretty inspirational, so I think it could do you some good. That's $1,000. Or for $2,500, I will come and give a personal talk to your group or your employees. And there again, I think that would have some motivational value. a lot of people keep telling me that whenever they talk to me or email me or read a blog post and realize what I'm doing as a blind person, that it makes them want to do more, it makes them think less of their problems, and so hopefully somebody will take me up on one of these options and we can start getting some money coming in. So far we've gotten $30 in donations and 12 emails offering to promote my Indiegogo campaign if I'll just hire somebody's service. Yeah, who knew that? I guess anytime you start a new technology, there will be people selling their services to help you use the technology. So I guess it shouldn't be a surprise, but it was a surprise the number of people who have emailed me offering their services, though. I think more people have seen the Indiegogo campaign that have stuff to sell me than have seen it that have money to invest. Did you find that with your GoFund?
Yes, I did. Well, more or less, I had a lot of people saying, "Hey, that looks cool. Good luck."
Yeah, see, I've gotten a few good comments, but like I said, most of the time when I get a comment, I go and click on it to see what it is that somebody asked me if they can help me do better. So for the most part, I've just ignored them. There was one at least they sent me their fee schedule, so that was the only time I really looked at what it would cost. But I just can't see making that kind of an investment. They did finally process my payment and ship my shirt. So next week I'm going to be wearing my new shirt. At least I got an email today saying it was shipped along with a tracking number. But it is the first order, and I'm guessing that even though they didn't charge me a setup fee, they probably still have to go through a setup process. That's just my guess. So. Well, it's almost 10 o'clock, so we've made it through another week and another hour. I appreciate you coming in, Mitchell, and helping me keep this thing running. And thank William Butler for showing up and being part, and also for encouraging me to keep doing what I'm doing as far as the new blog and sharing my story with people. And hopefully it will lead to some opportunities to do some coaching or some public speaking. Like I told my friend Robin, it may be that the new site and helping people through that website might end up bringing in some money to help me do what I want to do with the amusement equipment site. So we'll just see. It's midwaymarketplace.com, midwaymarketplace.com, or mr-midway.com, mr-midway. Maxwell at midwaymarketplace.com is the email. The phone number is 979-215-1770. You go to my website, it's got all the links to my social media sites. If you follow me or connect with me, I will follow you back or connect back to you. Subscribe to me on YouTube, youtube.com/user/midwaymarketplace. The Indiegogo campaign, I'd be more than happy to send you the link. But I believe you can just go on there and Google blind entrepreneur and YouTube show, and you should find it just fine. And I guess for another week, I will say good night.
Have a good night, Max.
Good night, Mitchell. And I wish you all the best with the radio station. I'm going to be checking it out here directly, and I'll be sharing the link to it.
All right.
Who knows? Maybe you'll get some traffic on there that'll notice my link.
Well, there we go.
There we go. All righty. I'll talk to you next week, Mitchell.
All right. Have a good week.
You too. Bye.